Yo, what's poppin'? Willis One. Dating sites. How many of y'all have ever been on a dating site? Whether it was out of curiosity, maybe you were actually interested in finding somebody. Any adult that I've ever known that uses internet has at least been on a dating site once or twice. Now, a lot of people find dates through Facebook and Instagram, and even MySpace. Remember MySpace? Yeah, it's still around from my understanding, right? But then you got actual dating sites where you got the free trials and you got they want you to pay and this and that and the third. First off, I would never pay money for a dating site because if you are serious about finding somebody, you could be possibly paying for nothing. You understand? I just feel like it ain't worth it. But that's just me though. Yeah, I'm not knocking anybody else's flavor. But with me, it was just curiosity. Now, mind you, when it comes to these sites, there's a lot of like legends and real life stories, a lot of crazy shit that done took place, stuff that has been on the news. There are documentaries, there are shows, there are even movies like portraying and detailing some of the stuff that has happened. You got stranger danger. At one point in time, there was nothing but like dating site horrors that would happen. You understand? And it taught people even to today. You don't hear as much about those type of situations today as you used to, but it's still very much alive, right? And men and women both get on these sites, but more than anything, you would always hear about women who would meet certain people, they would go missing, just unimaginable, freaking crazy, horror stories. But to the men, I think a lot of men felt like it could not happen to them. There are stories where men have met the wrong woman, or maybe they didn't meet a woman at all. From being thirsty. You understand? Because for some men, all it takes is a couple of messages saying, "Oh, I'm gonna give you some of this or a blowjob. I'm finna coochie pop on the handstand." For some men, that's all it take, and they will take that chance. And that's why a lot of women think they can have every man in the palm of their hands because a lot of y'all are simple as hell and y'all make all of us look bad. But that's going into another whole story. But anyway, dating sites. Stranger danger is real. You understand? Some people don't use as much precaution and awareness as they should, and they pay for it. Some people have lived to tell the tale. You understand? One example of stranger danger. I know probably some of y'all or maybe all of y'all, anybody that's listening heard about that situation. It just happened recently. The black girl, I think she was like 19. I want to say it was at a bar where she met this crazy ass looking white dude and he ended up decapitating this girl. It just happened recently. It was all over the place. I don't know if they met online or not, but that is a prime example of stranger danger. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is exempt, fam. It don't matter how old you are, what ethnicity, like if you're willing to take a chance with these dating sites, especially if you are somebody who is desperate and you are interested in finding somebody, at the end of the day, it comes down to this. You just got to use your common sense. If you're interested in that type of thing, go ahead. Life is short. But goddamn, just have some common sense because ain't nobody exempt to losing their life behind this internet. It's just like that. Now, my story, it can be a cautionary tale, but I had a lot more common sense. I wasn't no thirsty ass fool, and I was just being, uh, I was just curious. I was one of the people who was curious about these sites. Y'all remember the site POF, aka Plenty of Fish? I believe it's still around. Um, you know, you had the option where you could just be on there for free and you could send a certain amount of messages and then you would be limited and you would have to like pay in order to send like unlimited messages. But of course, I was using the free version because I was just being curious. I wasn't on it like that, But I had seen a whole bunch of faces, new faces. I even seen some faces that I knew from my city. You understand? Because, they go based off of your area and stuff like that. So my whole thing about this, I would get on there, I would check it out to see if I seen anybody new, see what's going on, what was popping with it. I would leave it alone. I would like get on the app in spells. Get on there, check it out, leave it alone for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple months. Get back on there. It was like that for like, I want to say like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. You know what I mean? But I never took it serious, fam. And that could possibly be what saved my damn life. Cause to this day, I feel like had I followed through with what was suggested and proposed, I might not even be here to telling what I'm telling. You know what I'm saying? Nothing super crazy happened in this story, but it's damn sure one of those, listen, ain't no telling what could have happened. And it just go to show you, you really got to use your common sense because people think you ain't, people, they really, on these dating sites, they think people are so lonely and desperate. They think you will do anything to find love and to meet somebody, that they will try anything. But what's their intention? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that got to go through your mind, man. So I believe this was the very last time that I had got on the app, right? I think I was contacted by this person who was supposedly a woman, but right off the back, I noticed they didn't really have a profile picture. Their profile picture was black, it was all dark. So I clicked on it, I zoomed on it, and I see, okay, we got a little bit of something here. And it was basically like it looked like one of those glass doors or either a big ass window. And it's kind of like the moon shining like in through the window into the darkness, right? You had a little bit of light, like moonlight. It was like they had just took the picture. Mind you, this was like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. So I'm just on there just checking it out. I'm definitely not taking anything serious that kind of night. You understand? So like I said, I forget if I messaged this person. In my heart, I feel like they messaged me because I ain't no damn fool. What's the point of messaging somebody you can't even see a picture of them? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I never understood. I can't talk to somebody if I can't see how you look. That was my whole thing. You understand? So this person, I forget what the conversation was usually like or whatever, but I think what they were telling me was that, it was basically like, where do you live? And that's where it starts off at. Like how far are you, what city do you live in, your area, all of that. And of course, we get that out the way, and they tell me where they're at. Not specific, I ain't nobody. Like I say, I ain't no fool, so I ain't give no address or nothing. And neither did they. But they did say that they were basically on the opposite side of town, way on the other side of town. So I'm like, oh wow, this person is closer than I think, huh? So we end up getting to the conversation of like possibly meeting, huh? Of possibly like hooking up. Now, mind you, I'm still thinking about that picture because as you're messaging the person, you see the profile picture is right there. So I'm not even taking it serious. I'm like, I don't even know if this is really a woman or not. And I believe I questioned it, right? But they were adamant that they were a woman. And when I asked about the profile picture specifically, I feel like they had, from what I remember, they had kind of like beat around the bush a little bit. But what they were saying to me is that they wanted to sneak me into the house. It was late, and I think they either had kids or they either lived with someone. So, which made me think, okay, you must have just took that picture then, because it is late and shit. You know what I'm saying? They wanted to sneak me in. They was like, I'll meet you at the door. We got to be real quiet. That type of thing. They was talking about, what we were going to do, this, that, and the third. For any damn fool, some fools would have been willing to take that chance and be like, let me at least pull up and see if it's actually a female. You understand? But even that could have been a mistake. And that's all in my mind while I'm talking to this person. For me, I wasn't taking it serious like that. But I noticed that this female or whoever the fuck it was, they were a little bit more persistent than me. You understand? And this conversation had went on because what I was doing was I'm the type of person I'm gonna analyze and I'm gonna have the conversation with you, right? I'm gonna continue the conversation and I'm gonna just see, like, I'm gonna try to see if I could possibly understand what your real motive is of me coming to actually see you. If I could, if I really wanted to go to where this person was at, could have easily done it. You understand? But of course I knew better than that, but I still played along. Like they was playing stupid with me about the whole darkness thing. They didn't get into exact details like I wanted. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna beat around the bush. But the whole time, going back and forth, I want to say for like an hour, hour and a half, messaging each other. We would slow up, and then the other one would message, and another one of us would message the other person. It was like that for like an hour and a half. I was tired. I was starting to fall asleep and everything. But the whole time, this person was still persistent. And every message that they sent, it was like, so are you coming or not? I'll meet you at your door. They started saying this, that, and the third. Like, how long will it take you to get here? All of that. And I felt it in my heart that there's no way in hell this time of night. I mean, it's possible. There are people who do hook up that time of night. You got some people who willing to take that chance. But just based off the profile pic alone, that was enough right there because my picture was up there. You understand? Why couldn't yours be up there? Anybody with regular common sense that you were born with, you knew that right out the gate. But I knew what I was doing. You understand? I was just trying to see what's your game? Like what's your thing? Like what exactly do you think you're doing here? So it continued on. Like, are you coming? Are we going to do this type of thing? Right? Now after a while, the messages slowed down from this person. The reason I think is because that woman or whoever it was came to the conclusion that okay, this dude done figured it out. Right? And that just further let me know that anything I was thinking, I was right. And to this day, I still don't even know what this person's, I still don't understand what their purpose really was. They had sent like one or two messages and I stopped answering, right? And I think I had sent them one last message and then I think they didn't answer because like I say, they knew what was up with me. And the thing is, I knew what was up with them as soon as they messaged me. You understand? Mind you, all this was late hours, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. The conversation had went on for at least an hour and a half or 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? They probably thought that I was one of them old, desperate, lonely, horny ass fools who was thinking with his second head. You understand? But never that. Never that. Not with realists. Ain't no way in hell. I was just playing along. You understand? Sometimes you gotta play a fool to the fool that thinks they're fooling you. Shout out to Shay Love, by the way. So after that conversation, I had never talked to that person ever again in my life, and I had never been back on the app. Now, like I said in the beginning, nothing super crazy happened. But y'all tell me, what do you honestly think would have happened if I would have went down there on the other side of town that time of night and met up with somebody who didn't even have their profile picture up? Y'all tell me, y'all leave y'all comments. What do you think this person had in mind? Because to this day, I feel it in my heart and soul that absolutely nothing positive would have came out of that pull-up, man. I say it to say, shout out to the women because it's a wild fucking world out here, and there's a lot of danger out here for women, whether it's a dating site, social media, hell, just walking the street. But to my fellas, I'm telling you, stop thinking with that head, man. Use the head you got on your shoulders because some of these people out here, whether that was a woman or a man playing on a man, thinking that okay, this man, because the stereotype is every man wants some ass. Every man gonna jump through hoops for ass. You know what I'm saying? How many stories do we hear of men getting caught up, beat up, robbed, killed, tortured because they was trying to get that ass? All of that went through my damn mind, fam. To this day, I have no clue what this person had in mind. Should I have went down there and met up with them? If meeting people on these dating apps, because we talk, just you see, this is YouTube, right? It's a social media app, so you meet people on here, and it's kind of like a dating app if you want it to be. You understand? All I'm saying is, at least on here, you can see folks' pictures. You understand? And on these other apps, you can see folks' pictures. But every once in a while, you might come across somebody who might have, nothing but ill intention. It's good, it's dope, it's fire, as positive and useful as the internet can be. it also is very dark, and you can lose your life if you a damn fool about it. Because the internet is also the devil's playground, fam. And women and men, stop thinking that it just happens to women. That's bullshit. There's nobody exempt to getting caught up behind this internet shit. Especially if you a weak motherfucker and you just trying to get some ass. So be smart about it. You don't hear about these stranger danger internet situations as much, but if you type them in and you listen out for them, they still happen. They still happen. They're very much still alive, fam. Common sense and awareness is a motherfucker. You understand me? But realest one, man. Y'all leave y'all comments. You tell me, what do you think would have happened should I have took that trip that night? I'm out.